Here's the dark truth about success nobody wants to hear. Every successful person you admire got there by saying no to almost everything. Not sometimes, almost always. They didn't balance. They didn't stay active in every group chat. They didn't show up to every event. They disappeared into what people now call monk mode. And while they were gone, people talked, called them obsessed, said they had changed, said they were antisocial. And for a while, they were right. Because success requires temporary antisocial behavior. You cannot build something significant while staying available to everyone. You cannot master a skill while protecting your comfort. You cannot transform your life while maintaining your current lifestyle. Something has to die. Usually, it is your social life, your free time, your comfort, your need to be seen. That is what nobody tells you about monk mode. It is not a cute productivity trick. It is isolation, deliberate, uncomfortable, necessary. You are scrolling social media, watching people post trips, dinners, parties, fun. And you think you are missing out? You are not. Because while they are collecting moments to post, you could be building something that changes the next 10 years of your life. But most people never do. Because they cannot handle isolation. You check your phone, someone tagged you, you respond. 20 minutes gone. Someone texts asking to hang out. You say yes. 3 hours gone. Someone calls with drama. You listen. An hour gone. By the end of the day, you worked on your goal for maybe 30 minutes. And then you wonder why nothing changes. The answer is simple. You are not in monk mode. You are in everyone else mode. And everyone else is not trying to become exceptional. They're trying to stay comfortable, entertained, connected. Think about the last time you made real progress. Not tiny progress. Real progress. You were probably less social, less available, a little obsessed. That was not a coincidence. That was the requirement. Deep work needs deep isolation, not forever. But for now, at work, this is obvious. The person who rises fastest is often not the one at every lunch. It is the one building results in silence. In business, it is even clearer. Every entrepreneur who wins has a story about the dark season. The season when they stopped going out, stopped responding fast, stopped being easy to reach. That is the part social media hides. You see the success. You do not see the 18 months of silence before it. Marcus Aurelius understood this. He withdrew to think, write, and decide without the noise of Rome. His clarity came in solitude, not in the crowd. So tell me in the comments, what distracts you the most right now? Friends, your phone, comfort, or the fear of missing out? Stay until the end, because I'm going to show you how monk mode actually works, how to use it without self-destruction, and how to protect your focus long enough to become dangerous. And once you understand it, you will see why most people never get what they want. They are not willing to pay the price. Let me show you how destructive this gets. You decide to work on your goal, you sit down, your phone buzzes. Want to grab dinner? You think, I should be social. So you go. Dinner becomes drinks. Drinks become a late night. You get home tired. Tomorrow, you'll work. Tomorrow comes. You are drained. You scroll to wake up. You see someone's vacation photos. Now you feel like you're falling behind in life. So you make weekend plans. The day passes. You worked on your goal for 0 minutes. This repeats for months, sometimes years. And then you wonder why the person who disappeared is now ahead of you. The answer is time. They gave 20 hours a week to their future. You gave 2. Maybe. The gap is not talent. It is isolation. At work, the same pattern plays out. Two people start at the same level. One goes to every lunch, every gathering, every social thing. The other protects time, declines noise, and builds skill. 3 years later, one is still liked. The other is promoted. Because one managed perception, the other built outcomes. In relationships, this gets brutal. You're trying to build something. Your partner wants more attention. You have to choose. Give them comfort now, or build something that changes your future. Most people choose comfort because the cost of focus is immediate. Someone gets upset, feels neglected, questions your priorities. But the cost of not focusing shows up later, in regret, in resentment, in unrealized potential. That is the dark truth. Monk mode costs relationships. Not all of them, but some. Usually the ones that needed you to stay the same. Friends do this too. You tell them you're going quiet for a while. They say they understand. Then a week later, come on, live a little. That is the test. They say they support your goals, but they want your availability more than your growth. If you cave, you teach them your goal is optional. If you hold the line, some of them drift away. And you learn something painful. A lot of friendships were built on access, not depth. Social media makes this worse. You stop posting. People ask, "Are you okay? Why so quiet?" What they often mean is this: your absence makes me uncomfortable. Not because they miss the real you, because they were used to your presence. If you've ever disappeared to build something and lost people because of it, subscribe. Because the part I'm about to show you is the part nobody explains well. The solution is not balance. Balance is what people preach when they do not want to sacrifice. The solution is seasons, and there is a framework for that. Here is how monk mode actually works. First principle: set a time frame. This is not forever. It is a season. 3 months, 6 months, a year, defined with an end point. That makes it survivable and gives you permission to stop trying to be available. Second principle: eliminate, don't moderate. Most people try to reduce distraction. That fails. I'll only check social media twice a day becomes 10 times a day. Delete the apps for the season. Do the same with unnecessary events. Do not go less. Go to 0 for a while. It sounds extreme. That is why it works. Third principle: protect your mornings ruthlessly. Everyone wants your evenings, but your mornings belong to your future. No phone, no texts, no noise, just focused work. Those hours compound faster than people realize. 4 protected hours a day becomes real change. Fourth principle: communicate your boundaries once. Do not keep explaining. Say it clearly. I'm in monk mode until June. I won't be available much. They will test it. It'll just be an hour. Same answer. I'm in monk mode until June. No guilt, no negotiation. Fifth principle: track your isolation hours. Monk mode is not a mood. It is measurable. How many hours this week did you spend on your goal, uninterrupted? Phone off, door closed, deep focus. That number tells the truth. Below 10 hours, you are not in monk mode. You are in distraction with ambition. Track it honestly. Sixth principle: expect loneliness. This is the dark part. Monk mode is lonely, on purpose. You will feel isolated, forgotten, left out. Good, that is the price. You are trading temporary loneliness for permanent transformation. Most people will never make that trade. That is why most people stay the same. Seventh principle: prepare for re-entry. When monk mode ends, do not rush back into everything. Evaluate. Who actually matters? What actually added value? Which habits made you stronger? Which parts of your old life were just noise? Most of it was noise. Monk mode shows you that. Final truth. Success is not about doing more. It is about doing less, more deeply, for longer, without distraction. That is monk mode. Not romantic, not balanced, not comfortable. Strategic isolation, temporary but necessary. Everyone wants success. Very few want the silence that produces it. They want the result. They do not want the disappearance. But the disappearance is where the result is built. So enter monk mode. Set a time frame. Eliminate distractions. Protect your mornings. Communicate boundaries. Track your hours. Expect loneliness. Then build in silence. While everyone else is busy being busy, you be busy becoming. That is the difference. That is monk mode. And that is the dark truth about success most people will keep avoiding because it works.